So this is called the 10 Steps to Success. This was the first training that I ever received in network marketing, and it really, really gave me a foundation that really helped me succeed in the business. And it really taught me that if you can find someone that knows what they're doing and has a track record, go buy them lunch, because their information is worth months of experience in trial and error. And the emotional ups and downs of network marketing are hard enough to deal with without having to deal with trying to figure out how to do it for yourself when other people have already mastered it and they can teach it to you. So the 10 Steps to Success is a culmination of the attributes, the skills, the philosophies that every successful networker I've ever had the privilege of mentoring or learning from or apprenticing with has all had in common. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that I have never met a very successful networker, someone that's making money, someone that's a leader, someone that has a contributory mindset that hasn't embodied these 10 attributes. So you have to know where the rocks are to walk on water. In other words, if you have the fundamentals down and you apply those fundamentals consistently and stay teachable so you can tweak the details, you can really accelerate your success without having to go through a huge learning curve. Now, the first of the 10 steps, every leader I've ever known understood the long-term potential. This is really the difference between getting in and getting all excited and talking to some people that turn you down and quitting versus talking to some people that turn you down and staying focused and putting your head to the grindstone and really working. And the difference is your vision. It's based upon what you see and what you hear. But first and foremost, it's a contributory business. You know, I feel personally, and I've evaluated this for years, that this is a contributory business model. It's a gift. I'm offering someone an escape hatch, a way to rebuild their income, their self-esteem, a way to own their own time, buy their time back, a way to have the things that money will buy them that they either currently can't purchase or they have the money and they don't have the time to implement them. So this is a wonderful industry. It's a wonderful gift. And yes, there's bad companies out there and bad people. It's true of every industry. But I am committed and determined and completely convinced that Momentous has a home run on their hands. Are they perfect? No. But we've got the customer service down now. We've got everything to where we need it. But you have to do day-to-day what you need to do for income-generating activities to build your business, get your rank advancement. But you have to wrap everything around your attitude of a contributory business model. Never forget, what you are speaks so loudly I can't hear a word you say happens only when you have a bad attitude, whether it's negative, whether it's self-esteem based, whether it's belief and commitment based. People can tell where you are. So a contributory business model is critical. You know, when I was in construction, about a third of my clients every year dropped out just because they quit home building, they stopped building, they moved away, whatever. And that was about 12 clients a year, and I always had my business model of bringing in one new client per month, one new client per month. And in January, if you brought in one person, in January you'd have 2 people. If everybody brings in one person a month, the math works out to 4,096 people. Okay? In the company I was in with Tony Rich and David and Debbie Reeder called Starlight International, we got a printout on December 31st. It was the first full year's downline printout we received after our first full year. And after 12 months in the business, we had 4,095 people in our organization. So obviously it didn't work perfectly like that, but you have to understand the power of duplication, the power of selling the system, the power of having duplicated things that other people can follow. Are there better ways to do the business? Yes. But will they duplicate? That's the question. If you have a better way to build a mousetrap and no one else can build it or use it because they don't understand the instructions, You may catch some mice personally, but you won't build an army of people catching mice. It's so important that you understand that the residual income is going to keep coming and keep coming, and the money they pay you on the codes to infinity in each code, for each person that's in your code, when they get that first customer after they've enrolled and gotten their website, you have to understand that that money is your building money. That keeps you in business long enough to build that annuitizing residual income. And having the awareness and the commitment that this is a long-term business allows you to relax. You know, I don't believe you can ride more than one horse at a time. You can. I've just never seen anyone make it to the top doing that. But it takes the mystery out of making it to the top of a company. If you look in Momentous and in any company I've ever had experience with at who really makes it in the business, the people that stick it out and stay consistent make it. And that's why you'll see people at conventions making more money than you think they deserve, but it's not them making it. They just stayed consistent and made it happen. It is a simple business as far as what you do and how you do it and when you do it. And if you do it enough, you'll learn the business cold. No problem. You'll start hearing the same questions from different faces in a different order. But the part of the business that isn't simple is the part that really overrides your ability to take part in the long-term potential, and that is your ability to manage your expectations about the ups and downs. One minute you're thinking I'm a failure. The next minute you're thinking they said no and I hate them. The next minute I'm so excited they came into business and they're going to kill it. And a week later they haven't even picked the phone up. And all these things are fixable, but it's how you feel about what you're going through, how you self-evaluate things. You have to give yourself a break. I've only been in Momentous. I'm on my 12th week starting tomorrow morning. That's not long enough to make any type of business decision of whether it works or not, because I haven't learned all the specific skills I need yet in Momentous. We don't even have our internet system up. We don't even have England open. We don't have the next 2 products out. So it's coming. But you have to just give yourself a break and not pass judgment on yourself so hard. And just take it easy, relax, take a deep breath, and don't give yourself unnecessary downlines. If you have enough people in the pipeline and you have enough income-generating activity going, you will succeed. But relaxing sometimes gives people the idea that you're super confident, and they're more likely to make a commitment to build something with you on a spare-time, part-time basis. It could be a full-time income and will be if they stick to it, but you got to get them started first, okay? So keep it really simple, focus on the long term, and start with the end result in mind. I always picture $20,000, $30,000 a month from residual income. What will it take to do that? Well, I'm going to have to be a national or an international, and I'll get there. But in order to be a national, I have to build a bunch of regionals, and in order to be a national, I have to be a regional first, and I have to build people to senior director. So I work it backwards from the top down, and it's all based on how many people you have in the pipeline, and are you working consistently with them? So that's the long-term potential. The most important part of your psychology is the calmness and determination. As Jeff Roberti said, you need to have a relaxed intensity about your business. Have a sense of urgency, but not panic. Have a sense of determination and not doubt. Have a sense of where you're going, even though you don't know how you're going to get there. You just know you're going to get there through consistency, because everything changes. You won't recruit forever. You won't manage forever. It all changes. And so start with the end result in mind. The way that you make it to the top of the company is you plan your work and work your plan. Every night you should have a list of what you need to do tomorrow, the next day, the next day. If someone calls you and says, I need a 10 o'clock three-way call on Tuesday, you should have it on your list. Tuesday, who it's with, their phone number, what time. Every commitment that you make to people should be written down. Every commitment. And you should have that at a glance. That's a short-term goal. It's very important that you get people started right. The good news is you can always start over. You know, not everybody's going to do a business plan meeting, but you can have a conversation with them. You can make sure they've got a list of names on the memory jogger. You can make sure that you have a conversation with them about how much time they have and what their financial earnings expectations are based on that time commitment. It is so important that you get people started right. And let me say this. The most important thing I see out there that is being done the least, that is affecting your closing ratio the most, is you are not immunizing people when you're first approaching them. You must tell people, no, are you married, Bill? Yes. I've got a wife. I've got a significant other. Okay. Don't go sell them on the business. You know, if it's a woman, if it's a man and he's married and he's got this wife, then hook him up with a woman on a three-way. Use Debbie Reader and let her talk to his wife. Tell the person not to approach people or talk to people about their opinion because they don't know what to ask them to give them their opinion about. Even if their best friend wanted to sign up, you couldn't sign them up. So get people started right. Always immunize people at the first approach, first conversation, and after they sign up until they've had their business plan conversation with you on the phone. Really, 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 really important. The people I've done it with are still in the business. People I haven't done it with are really shaky on the business because they've gone out and experimented. Okay? Game plan interview, I went over that. Tell the person to do it with you as soon as possible. Give them their homework. How much time, how many hours a week, what do they expect to earn? The answer to those two questions so their expectations financially are balanced. And do a game plan meeting with them and really interview the person. Find out why they're doing the business, not just to make money, but what will they do with that money? What is the burning desire that's got them white hot for the business? If they don't have one, you need to develop one or they're not going to make it. Okay? Show up. Show up, show up, show up. Be committed. Be at those Tuesday night meetings. Look, I understand we have lives, and I think that's really important. But the Tuesday night meeting is the only vehicle I have to judge who's working the business. I don't care if you don't have a guest. I do care. I'd like you all to have guests. But you need to be at every meeting. Okay? If you've had a bad week, you need the meeting. If you've had a good week, the meeting needs your story. And we're going to start doing more and more testimonials and teaching how to do testimonials. You know, just go talk to people and don't worry about it. Redo your memory jogger. Put a bunch of names on there. Follow up with the people that you're kind of slacking off with because you're not sure it's going well. Do more three-ways. We're here to help you, okay? I work everything on a 90-day plan. At the end of 90 days, a person should have, if they're really working this 15 hours a week or more, they should be somewhere, they should be a senior director and be almost at or above regional. So 90 days. Now, a lot of people at first 30 days don't do a whole lot. Okay, start their 90-day plan after their first 30. But you need to revamp your business model every 30 days. Every 30 days. I do it every week, okay? And be consistent. The things that are working for you, keep doing them. The things that aren't working, stop doing them and get some advice from me, from anybody that you know knows the business, because we've got some incredible pros on the phone, and be consistent. Stay in the learning mode, stay teachable, realize your first 3 months that we're all in a learning curve. We're just babies, just getting started. The best is in front of us, okay? The warm market approach. Boy, do I get a lot of grief on this one. All the internet marketers, they hate warm market, and then when they start making millions of dollars in their business, like David Wood, we met, and he said, how do I build a warm market relationship with the people in my business? They're all cold market, and they have no loyalty. And I helped him understand that it's not only possible to do so, there's specific things you can do to do that. And he actually implemented them. But a warm market approach, you have to get in front of people. It's faster. I use a memory jogger. I know a lot of people poo-poo the memory jogger. I don't. It's a critical piece of my business because it allows me in the business plan meeting to qualify who they know, and I can tell if they're teachable or not. I can tell if they're sold. They only have 12 names on their list. Trust me, they're not sold, or they're doing too much pre-qualification. And then the tracking sheet part of the memory jogger is how you build your business. That helps you track who you've got in the pipeline. You should have at any one time between 10 and 15 people in the pipeline at any one time. If you don't, you need to get that done first. That's really important. And ask the right questions. The quality of the question determines the quality of the answer. Questions are critical. I put out 21 water filters in NSA when I got started. And I did it with Phil Cataldo. We did it our own way. We invented our own system. We went together, and we picked up 20 of them. One lady lost hers. And then we went home, and a dealer kit showed up, and it had a VCR tape, believe it or not, 8-track tape. And we plugged it in, and it was a whole system on how to do the business. And we both decided not to work with each other anymore because we were both ready to quit. And we each went out with that 8-track tape instructions in our mind. And over the next couple of weeks, we started having massive success because we actually started following the system. And if you'll be teachable enough to follow the system, it'll work for you. So, yes, I did it the wrong way, too. I was a rookie. I'd never been in network marketing. My upline didn't teach me squat. So I figured it out. But when I got that dealer kit and saw their system, it worked for me. So know what you're selling, okay? What are you selling? What we're selling is our training and our system, okay? We have a 3-step system, warm market. We're getting ready to introduce you to an entirely complementary system for cold market. You can pick up off the picnic table whatever you want. Cold market's just another step to get to talk to people, and as soon as you get on the phone with them, you have to build them into a warm market relationship by building rapport and asking them the right questions. But you need to know what you're selling. We're not selling EMS units to people. What we're selling is a business. It's income. It's residual income. It's the ability to have a business long term. Does it have great products? You betcha. Universal products that no one's going to shut down on. They can just buy them from us through the company. They can be their own customer for whatever services they want to buy and actually get paid a commission on it. So know what you're selling. And what you're selling to the person you're on the phone with is yourself. The first thing you're going to sell is you're going to have them more important to you than having them understand who you are. You talk to them and have them tell you their story. That's my favorite question. Tell me your story. Tell me where you're at. What do you do for a living? Tell me about your family. There's a lot going on when you're conversing with people, but the words don't matter. It's how they feel about what you're saying that matters. Start locally at first, and this is what I'm the most excited about because our internet system will be zip code specific, so it will force you to start locally. So you can meet these cold market people and really sit down and get to know them and turn them into warm market leads with lots of rapport. Local is easy. If you start getting too much geography and you start a group in 7 cities and you've got to fly there every weekend, it's way too expensive, okay, way too much stress. You can maximize your results. Your income-generating activities work better when you're working locally. Plus, we have a local meeting here on Tuesdays. It's an awesome thing. Now, what I've noticed is people are meeting people. They're having a great conversation. Say they meet them on Thursday, and the next step, instead of sending them those third-party tools and they've kept the presentation and invitation separate, is they invite them to the next Tuesday meeting. That is not our system, and it won't work. Sometimes it works, but most people never show up because you've gone days without any contact, any new information. You have to present people new information every day they're in the process. But if they're local, it's much simpler to do. Your goal is to establish, sustain, and advance momentum in your business, but you have to establish it personally first. Momentum is the result of you going out and talking to 10, 12 people and getting them in your pipeline and keeping that pipeline filled up, and then making sure your people are meeting all the other people that are coming in the business. That's momentum personally. When you have an organization where you've taught people to do personal momentum and that's working, you get group momentum. And when the company gets enough groups in momentum, they'll go into company-wide momentum, and then it's just crazy. And we're a long ways from momentum in the company. But personally, I've got momentum, and in the group, we have momentum. So join in and be a part of that. And number one is establish your personal business. You cannot go into management mode, okay? Yes, you're going to have to burn a few hamburgers to learn how to cook. We all have setbacks and learning experiences, but you can always fail forward, okay? Then as you start to build personal momentum, you build a few stars. You start from where you are. You know, everybody's always on the phone telling me their limitations. Bob, I don't know anybody. I'm in the NFL club, no friends left. You know, I'm frustrated. I've got people in the business, they're not doing the system. Set the example. You know, work with those that are asking you to help them, communicate with the others, and build your business and keep personally sponsoring. None of us have been in long enough to go in management mode yet. So, you know, when you get to 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 people, yeah, you'll have some management, but you get to those numbers by building 4 or 5 people into senior directors and regionals. That's where the fun starts. Between senior director and regional, if you back off on your recruiting, you're going to lose income. It's going to look like it's going to take you 12 years to make any money. So after you make senior director, it's so important that you continue to set the example with your groups. They will do what they see you doing. If they see you bringing guests to a meeting, they're bringing guests. If no one brings a guest to the meeting, no one will feel bad about it. So let's keep the peer pressure up. Start from where you are. Don't prejudge people. Every dud knows a stud. We've heard those stories. Sell results, not ingredients, okay? Don't sell the details. Don't explain to people how you do the business until they're committed and they're in the business and had their business plan done. If you're meeting somebody and they're all excited and you think they're a big player and they've got lots of contacts and they're telling you all the right things, don't sit them down and encourage them to go talk to one of their friends and never, ever have a meeting with a person that's bringing a guest to you in a private meeting at a Starbucks or on the phone before they're signed up, okay? You will never build a duplicative organization with that leg because nothing you're doing there is duplicative. Okay, follow the system is what I'm saying. Follow the system. When you find a winner, because you get paid on the code to infinity for each person in each code, drop down and work with your players. If each one of your legs or organizations that you're building, if each one of those is anchored with a strong person that's self-independent from you and self-taught and self-motivated, you will have an organization that will never stop. So drive those legs, okay? The Thinker Thinks, Improve, Approve is about philosophy. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Today's the present, that's why they call it, or today's a gift, that's why they call it the present. You know, you have 2 kinds of people in network marketing. You have people that are making money and people that are making excuses. And believe me, there are so many valid excuses out there, and that's fine. But they're still not at the meeting. They're still not doing the business. They're still not doing it. All excuses are equal, okay? 2 universal assets, 24 hours a day and your brain and how you think about things. Your time and your experience and knowledge is 2 universal assets. How come some people make it and some people don't? It's because they're using a system that gives them leverage. Everyone succeeds. Everybody. Someone goes out of their house and says, I need one more distributor. Need is interpreted by your subconscious as the word lack. You go through the whole day, you talk to all these people, no one signs up. You think you're a failure. You've actually just succeeded because you accomplished what you programmed your subconscious to do, which was to not have any new distributors join your business. Take responsibility for your mental state of mind. Pay attention to all those little things you're saying to yourself. Change the scripting. Control your emotions. Control your mind. Yes, I have a lot of energy, and I get nuts sometimes, and I lose my place, and I get all over the place. But I'm always focusing on my mental state of mind. It's always a contributory business. I'm always looking for the good in people. I'm always looking to see who can take advantage of this and enjoy it and who can I have fun with and run with it. Success is in the show. How many times you show the business? If you're 15 hours or more a week, you should be showing the business to 1 person every hour you're working the business. Otherwise, 2 a day is a lot. If you can do 2 a day every day, if you can do more, that's great. But every day you do 2 more, you'll build a massive business. If you're less than 15, then you should try and do 1 person a day and make it work with the hourly commitment that you have from your business plan. Okay? Use third-party tools. Keep the presentation and invitation separate. Use third-party tools. Every single day we are developing new tools, new system enhancements. We're all over it right now. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But third-party tools for explaining and selling, you do the inviting and the interviewing and the rapport building and the getting to know the person, okay? Invite them. Don't sell them and don't sign them. Invite them. Enroll them in the business when they're ready. You're not there to meet someone and close them. Now, if you're capable of doing that, which I know there's some people on the phone that are, then you can do that. But it's a skill that takes time to develop. After your first year in network marketing, you should be able to sit down and show something to someone and close them in the same meeting, maybe. And the people that do it are really good at it, but they've been doing this a long time, okay? Ignorance on fire beats knowledge on ice. If you have a distributor and they're saying, I've got to learn everything before I get started, they're making themselves an issue, that is them sabotaging their ability to get started. It's very common. People are scared. They don't need to know everything. They just need to know what to do next. Your job as a leader, as a senior director, is to promote the correct events, let people know what's going on and where you expect them to be. And number two is to give them the information they need to start. Make sure that you're doing three-ways with them. Make sure they understand how to do three-ways. Make sure they're registered on your Power Plus for the webinar and call announcements by text and email. Make sure their direct deposit is done. Make sure they're getting qualified at QMR. That's your job with a new person. And to call them every day or have them call you every day. I promise you, if someone calls you 2 weeks in a row and they quit calling you, they're out of the business. Okay? It's a really good sign they're backing it up. And you need these things in place so you know who to work with. You need people, but not any particular person. Base your expectations on your personal commitment to manage your mental state and keep that memory jogger loaded with new people and the people you have in process, to immunize them, to do the plan meetings, and to complete the four-step system as quickly as possible and as professionally as possible. Never base your expectations on someone else's potential. Oh, I know Bob, man. He's a hotshot. He's going to make me a millionaire. And then Bob doesn't come in your business. And you haven't put anyone else in the pipeline because it was all about Bob. Okay? I've done this before. So I've done this before, and I'm telling you, you need people, but not any particular person. Attend weekly events. It keeps you focused, and events are the transfer of information. A live event during the week is for one primary purpose, and it's not to recruit guests. It's to keep you focused and energized. The people that don't come to weekly meetings will not be in the business that long. Weekly meetings, when you have a support group, they're there to help the existing distributors feel supported, to get them back into the groove, get them refocused, and that's an event that you simply don't want to miss. 3 rules of event promotion. Promote one event at a time, promote the next event at the last event, and every 24 hours someone is in the process on your memory jogger. You got to get them new information. Remember, information transfer is the definition of an event. Okay? 9th wonder of the world is the leverage that events provide to you. Wouldn't it be fun to go to Texas to the national convention and have 30, 40 people in that room? How about 100 people in the room? How about 1,000? I've been in rooms with 18,000 people, and I got paid on every one of them. It's a wonder. It's absolutely amazing when that happens. And in this company, it will happen, okay? Immunize at first conversation. That's an event. You need to always do that, okay? Number 9 is sell the system. You don't do special deals for friends. Let the system do the sifting and sorting. And the people that are working the system, it will test your teachability, okay? People that are working the system, I know they're teachable. People that don't work the system or try and change it or develop their own sales materials, they may all be great ideas, but they're not as teachable as they could be. And a handful builds a roomful. You don't need to recruit the world. You need to work with the ones you have and keep bringing people in until someone rises up. First step, get to senior director. It's only 6 people, okay? And if you stack people under each other and you're a senior director going to regional, you know, they could literally bring in 3 people and go to and become a senior director. So it's not that difficult to become a senior director. That's kind of the proving ground. When someone makes senior, let's take the gloves off and see what they're made of and see if they back up and retire and go into management mode, or let's see if they really go to work to go to regional. Because once you've built a senior, you can certainly help others get to that level. And you only need 4 in your senior director organization, or code as we call it, or downline. They're all the same word. And you can go right to regional, okay? Ask for the order. When you're talking to people, you need to tell them, Bill, I really have enjoyed our conversations. I really enjoy you. I would love to work with you. Would you consider working with me? Ask them. Tell them. Let people know that you want to work with them. If you're sitting in front of a jerk, don't ask them. But typically, you're going to want to ask people for the order. If you don't believe enough in what you're out there doing, which is building a key player team, and you don't ask people to join you, they're not just going to vicariously jump up and say, Bob, I want to join you. I ask everyone to join me that I like. I have everyone do a 3-way call. I never bring someone in the business without it. And I have a business plan meeting with everyone I bring in the business, even if it's short. Now, the last one is show success. You've got to reward yourself. It's so important not to quit your job or not to bring someone in network marketing that's broke and has no income. It puts so much financial stress on you to do that. It's incredible. And people will do it because they have no choice. I understand that. But you need to give them special effort because the money they're making is really going to pay their bills. So that's a scary place to be. So try and bring people in your business that already have income. Spare time is really a great way to start the business, or part-time, because when that extra $500 or $600 or $200 comes in, it's extra. And don't forget to reward yourself. When you start making real money, get out of debt, okay? Get out of debt. Debt will kill you. I haven't had debt for a long, long time. I don't think I've had any debt since 1988. That's when I got out of debt. It was a long time ago. And I still remember how I used to lose sleep on it. Never forget from whence you came. You know, egomania is being sick to death. Is everyone around you is sick to death of you and you don't know you're ill. That's egomania. Never forget from whence you came. Never forget that everything is transitory in life. Everything changes. People keep asking me, how long will momentous last? I don't know. I think we've got a solid 5-year, maybe 7-year run here. Internationally, it could go 10, 15 years. But I think in 2 years, everybody that's been in the business for 2 years with this timing, before momentum, I think it'll be a moot point. You'll have more money than you wished, and when it happens fast. It's just you have to pay it forward. You have to do the work first. The money comes second. The money that you're earning now is based on work you did 2-3 months ago. And guys, we haven't been in the business 3 months. We haven't even given this a 90-day cycle yet. We're still babies. We're all rookies here. So you haven't gone through a significant enough amount of people or been in this business long enough to pass any judgment on whether it's working or not. You may not be getting the results you want. So let that go and go talk to new people, okay? It's a journey, not the destination. Boy, isn't that the truth. I've been on trips with people making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year, and I've watched a married couple argue the entire trip and be totally miserable. And you just sit back and you go, they work so hard to get where they are, and they're so out of balance, they don't understand it's the journey. You know, every day is special. They don't repeat. And we're not getting out of here alive, so let's make it fun and have a good time. It's a lifestyle business. It's my lifestyle of choice. I choose network marketing. All of you have a special place in my heart, and I just wish there were more hours in the day to work with you, even closer than I already do. But trust me, it's all going to evolve, and everything will be as it should be. So it's a lifestyle business. So that's the 10 steps. You have to know where the rocks are to walk on water. These are the beliefs and the attitudes that every major player I've ever worked with has understood, and they've understood it because they've learned it through the school of total persistence and consistency of income-generating activities. We're all brand new. Don't pass judgment on yourself. It's not a judge and jury. It's not even a schoolhouse yet. We haven't been in long enough to even make any conclusions. Remember how excited you were when you first saw Momentous. That's how excited I am right now, except I have certainty because the numbers of our organization, of the income being earned, of the number of people being promoted, of the number of distributors entering the business, based on the small time period that this organization has been in business, is tracking faster than any of the numbers I've heard from any of the other million-dollar producers and earners in the company. So I'm really excited because I know we're on a much faster curve, and trust me, the things we're about to introduce are going to take you to a whole different level. You're the pioneers. You've toughed it out. Now it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier. So let's pull together. Let's blow these Tuesday night meetings out. Let's support Jane in Rancho Santa Fe on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. It's a great place to put people. I thank you for listening, and that's the end of the call. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Good night.